Aloha! Welcome to a special edition of the Temple of Surf, the podcast. It is a special moment for surfers from all around the world at the first Surf Olympic Games ever. We discuss with some of the athletes going to Tokyo Olympics about this amazing event, surf, and much more. Aloha! Welcome to the Temple of Surf, the podcast, Olympic Games edition. Today with us is Christiaan Otter Bailey. We discuss with him about the possibility of having para-surf Olympic Games soon. We discuss also about his amazing achievement and much more. Hi Christiaan, welcome to the show. Where are you today?
Hi Alessandro, I'm in California at the moment. I'm doing fantastic, thank you. How are you?
All is well. Thanks a lot. Today we're going to talk about a lot of things, Olympics and surf. But the first question that I want to ask you is, in your opinion, what is the most important thing in surf?
Most important thing in surf? Well, having fun. I mean, without fun, what's the point, you know? We all love going in the water, going in the ocean, and, interacting with nature. So I think fun is the number one thing with surfing.
Yes, it's the fun that without that we couldn't go, right? Then it transform into stoke and transform into aloha and usually positive stuff, right?
Oh, of course. I mean, there'll always be, certain people that get the aggro out, but for me personally, I mean, it's not about, who's pulling the most radical maneuver. It's about who's having the most fun out in the lineup.
Exactly. Very important. The smile on the face, whatever happens on the lineup, right? So, tell us a little bit more about you. When do you start surfing?
Oh, let me see. That would have been, I'm dating myself here, but that would have been 1985. So I've been surfing for a really long time and professionally now pre and post injury for 29 years.
Wow. Amazing. It's like a lifetime. Right.
Yeah, it's been a blessed life. I've certainly have no complaints.
How old are you now?
I just turned 40 in March.
Oh, congratulations! I'm 42, so we have the same age. Yes.
Congratulations. I'm hoping to pull a Kelly and be like 50 years old and still surfing. We'll see how it goes.
Of course, is great in great shape. I will sign for being 50 years old like that. But I think I have to lose some weight. 100 kilo of beef.
Yeah, he's absolutely incredible. I mean, it's one thing, being 50 years old and maybe being a golfer and operating at that level. But for Kelly to be nearly 50 years old and absolutely decimating, the younger generation coming up it's absolutely unheard of. I think he's one of the most phenomenal athletes in the world, hands down.
Yeah. 11-time world champion. Huh? It's like it means something.
Yeah,
it means something.
Yeah. Just looking at the stats is just it's mind-boggling when you just see it on paper. It really is.
So you were talking about before and after the injury that was kind of a changing moment for you and for your career as a surfer. But let's talk about surfboards then and now. Today, what you're riding?
Well, I mean, it depends on where I'm surfing, like any other professional surfer or surfer for that matter. I mean, my board changes depending on what waves I'm riding. This last week during nationals, we were at Oceanside Pier, and I was riding a 6'4", 20 inches wide, 2 3/8 thick bat tail. So that's my go-to board when the waves are 3 to 5 feet. It's playful and fun, and it carries a lot of speed. So I enjoyed that board a lot. It's kind of my go-to.
Definitely, you like speed, huh? It's
who doesn't?
Oh, nobody in surf. Everybody likes it, right? Of course,
except maybe longboarders, but teach their own.
Well, it goes lower, but the style, they would say, no.
No doubt. No doubt.
We don't want to have a fight between shortboarder and longboarder. Please not.
Oh, no. It's nothing but love in the lineup.
And who's shaping for you the surfboard? Do you have a particular shaper or?
Eric Rausch has been my shaper for about 15 years, but he just recently retired a couple of years ago. So I'm actually currently a free agent as far as my surfboards go. but I'm trying out a couple different shapers right now to see if our styles can meld well together.
Forgive me the question, but is that easy to find like surfboard for athletes, para-surfing? I don't know even if I use the right word. Right?
No, that's the right word. It's actually pretty difficult. I mean, the traditional paradigm of surfing is the surfer being able to stand up and distribute their weight from nose to tail and move around on the board. Well, for someone in my position who's laying down, you have to completely readjust the board's hydrodynamics to amplify the abilities that you do have. So it's really important to pick a shaper who is willing to experiment, who is really willing to push the limits and listen to feedback and adjust the shape accordingly. So I think whether a para surfer or a regular surfer, I think the relationship that you have with your surfboard shaper is perhaps one of the most important. I mean, it can make your session horrible or give you the best session you've ever had in your life. So I always have a phenomenal amount of respect for shapers who aren't afraid to push the limits and really kind of operate outside their comfort zone.
Definitely. And living in California, it's great because you have a lot of shapers that are there, and they do that. Some of them for like maybe 50 years. They have tons of experience to share.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially where I'm from in Santa Cruz. I mean, we have a variety of just absolutely incredible shapers. Whether you're talking about Bob Pearson or Doug Howard or Stretch, or there's a lot of just really incredible shapers who have been doing this for a very long time.
Yeah, they became legend.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And so, like in this new world for you after the accident of para-surfing, you are quite successful. My God, looking at all the ISA medals and the national champion, 5-time national champion, it's amazing. Your accomplishments are fantastic.
Oh, thank you. No, it's just I mean, if you'd asked me this 15 years ago, I don't think that any of us were looking to change the world. I think, moreover, we were just looking to try and find some kind of, semblance of normality in our lives again. To get back to what we love. It's been a wild ride. I wouldn't have it any other way, though.
What is the key learning that, of course, you learn from being a 5-time national champion?
Oh, the key is, I'd probably say, if I were to put one hallmark on it, it's patience. I think a lot of people post-injury, they dive into the deep end and try and do too much too quick. But it's really beneficial when you kind of take a step back, no pun intended, and look at the whole picture and just be patient as far as your training or your board design or the waves you're trying to ride. I think patience is probably the best virtue that you can have as an adaptive surfer.
Yeah, and as well, like a normal surfer, right? I think it goes also with a lot with mentality, right? If you have the right
absolutely
and patience, being patient is also being mindful, and be patient means not to hurry up or to enjoy the win and learn from the losses, right? And
absolutely.
I think the key athletes we were talking about, Kelly's later before, are successful, of course, because they are good, but also because they have something else, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you use Kelly as an example, I mean, I can't tell you. I mean, I was on the CT traveling around with him doing expression sessions for a decade, and it really gave me the opportunity to see all of the top tier competitors. But one of the crazy things about Kelly is that I can't tell you how many heats he's been that I've seen where he has his scores, he's set, and what he'll do is he'll just sit in a particular position out the back and wait. And inevitably what ends up happening is, like, in the closing minute, some bomb comes out of nowhere and he ends up scoring, like a high 9. And I think that just comes from, experience and being, like you said, being mindful and being patient about, what nature is doing and, how you can, best find your ride.
Exactly. And this particular series of the Temple of Surf podcast is dedicated to Olympics. And I was discussing the other day about the fact that, we were discussing about surf pool and ocean.
Mm-hmm.
In the ocean, there is also a component of luck, right? Even if
Yes.
you are at your last heat, you need to have that kind of luck. That with the surf pool, actually, it's the wave is always the same, right? So maybe the luck factor it's less. What do you think?
Well, it also depends on the wave. So, like this last weekend, we had the WSL Freshwater Pro at Kelly's Pool, and with Kelly's Pool, it's always, you're absolutely right. It's almost always exactly the same. But if you compare it to like other waves, so say like the BSR Wave Park in Austin, Texas, I'm sorry, Waco, they can dial up 15, 20 different waves all on the computer and spit out something new, kind of throw a curveball to new surfers, or if a surfer is looking to try something particular, like an error, or, a particular maneuver, they can dial up the wave and tune it to, to what they're trying to accomplish. So yeah, it going to the Olympics. It's the basis of any Olympic sport is the equipment always being the same. Whether you're talking about gymnastics or swimming, or track, the field of play is always the same. So it's the athlete's performance that dictates, who gets the gold medal. With surfing, that variable of luck doesn't always mix well with the Olympic program, because Olympic judges want to be focusing on, what the athlete is doing, not what nature is feeding them. So it's kind of a catch-22, to be honest. It really is.
Definitely, I agree with you. So I see the logo of United States Olympic team, right? And you're captain, right? I
Yeah.
read it correct? What that means for you?
Oh, well, as far as the job description, it's I'm on the board of directors of USASurfing, so it's handling all of the athlete logistics, as well as USOPC logistics, and kind of creating an atmosphere where our athletes can perform best, supporting them in every way that we can. So yeah, that's my job with the team.
I also think it's incredibly important to acknowledge that I'm only one small cog in this overall machine at USASurfing. Whether we're talking about Greg Cruz, our CEO, or Andreas Swain, our COO, or Kevin Dean or Kim Tilley, or Becky, or at Min Media, or Brett Simpson, our head coach. And we also have a phenomenal board of directors that we're all here to try and help our Olympic athletes reach the maximum of their potential. And I think it's incredibly important to recognize that, behind any great Olympic team is also, not just the athletes, but a whole variety of support personnel that are, working towards a common goal, and that's getting Olympic medals. So it's definitely an honor and a blessing to be a part of USASurfing, especially on this first team.
And I was reading quite a lot because of this interview about para-surfing, and maybe I totally misunderstood, so I apologize if I say something that is not correct. So today, para-surfing is not yet in the Olympics, but it will be in 2028 in Los Angeles. I am right?
Hopefully, we're aiming for it. We were originally aiming for Paris 2024, but we came in a little bit late. So we're aiming for LA 2028, which will be a great opening for para-surfing should we get accepted. But we have Paris 2024, which will be in Chopu. LA 2028, which they haven't decided the location, but whether it's at Huntington Beach or Trussell's or Kelly's Pool, I'm sure it'll be amazing. And then afterwards, we're heading to Brisbane. So obviously a hub of high performance surfing. So I know I speak for all the Olympic athletes when I say that we're really stoked with where the sport's headed, and the opportunities that we have, with the host city.
I guess there will be a lot of surfers willing to travel to LA in 2028, but also Tahiti in 2024, right? Because it's France at the end. So Tipu and all these magic places, But my curiosity is like you were saying, we came late for 2024 France Olympic Games. What's the process behind that? Because in my opinion, let's say, once surf was an Olympic sport, in my idea, also para-surfing was going to be in the Paralympics. So what's wrong with what I'm saying? Please tell me.
Okay, so the first thing people have to understand when it comes to the Olympics is that it's a political process. I mean, you're dealing with a massive organization. You're dealing with 15,000 elite level athletes, and you're also dealing with over 100 national federations. And every national federation has its own sports that they specialize in, as well as the politics that come with that. So it's a process, and I think that's what a lot of people don't understand when you talk about the Olympics or the Paralympics is that it's all a political process. The IOC, the International Olympic Committee, and the International Paralympic Committee are not the same organization. They're two separate organizations. So each have their own standards and requirements for getting a sport accepted. So as far as the requirements, it's having a certain amount of national federations for the Paralympics. I believe it's 32. And you have to have a certain amount of athletes from each national federation within the division. So within my sport, there are 6 different divisions, that range from, kneeling to standing to prone to visually impaired. So when it does become our time, the IPC will go through and they'll select only a couple divisions for that opening salvo as far as being a Paralympic sport. So we're not quite to that process yet. Our first major goal will be to get parasurfing inducted into the Pan Am Games, which we're hoping to in 2026. Okay. And then eventually, hopefully, the Olympics.
Wow. I would never have expected so much politics behind the Olympics, but maybe it's me being naive. And
oh yeah, trust me, neither did I when I first joined the fray. And I've been a board of directors member for 7 years now, and just seeing behind the scenes how the sausage is made it's pretty incredible. You never really think of the Olympics as having so many cogs and gears to make the watch turn, but it's a pretty amazing organization and a thing to be a part of.
Wow. Okay. Thanks for sharing, and I really wish by 2028 Los Angeles is going to be a great opportunity to compete. Yeah, for everybody, and I think it's going to be amazing because it's in USA, because it's LA, because it's California, and so or the surf ranch. We don't know that, but let's hope it's going to be in the ocean. So, what are the expectations of the US surfing team? Of course, winning medals, and then because it's a novelty for everybody surfing in the Olympics. So
yeah, I think the most amazing thing is surfing being inducted into the Olympic program is one thing. When you're a member of an Olympic team representing your country, it's a tremendous honor and a privilege to have that opportunity. It's even more so, I think, when you're a member of the first team, when you're part of that, that first team, it really does, hold an incredibly special place in all of our hearts. Because it's something obviously that none of us being professional surfers would have expected, I think, if you'd asked us, 20 years ago. But I think now that we're here, it really is a tremendous blessing.
Yeah, definitely. Being there, it's already a victory. And we, I think, taking from that onwards, we're going to see quite a lot of great things coming out of surfing, but also skateboard and all the new sports that have been in, let's say, accepted.
Oh, absolutely.
By the federation.
Yeah, now I'm good friends with a couple of people on the U.S. skateboard team, and I know that they're just as excited as we are in surfing to get out there and show what they can do.
Definitely. What is next to achieve in para-surfing, in your opinion?
The next big achievement is going to be, like I said before, getting inducted into the Pan Am Games. Those are kind of the prerequisite into being included in this Olympic or Paralympic sport. So that's our next major goal. And the ISA, the International Surfing Association, has been really amazing at developing the sport over the last 6 years and getting this to the point we are today.
Doesn't it miss a bit? I don't want to do polemic. This is not a place for being a polemic. It's just a genuine question. Doesn't it miss visibility as a sport?
It's with parasurfing. It's kind of yes and no. You have some organizations or some media outlets that are incredibly supportive of what we do. And then I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we haven't quite got out there into the mainstream yet. And I largely hold that of the fact that, we're not a part of the Paralympic program. I think once we are and we join in on the Pan Am Games, I think, media attention will start to shift a lot more. But right now, I'd like to say that we're currently kind of in the development phase of the sport.
Okay, clear. As I said at the beginning of the interview, I'm learning a lot. So thanks a lot and I'm sorry for all these maybe sometimes stupid questions.
No, not at all. No, I always like to say the only stupid question is the one you don't ask. So if you have any questions, fire them across my bow. I'd love to answer.
I had a lot, and in effect for me, visibility. It goes. I was. This third series of the podcast that is airing now, there is quite a lot of women surfing, and we were talking about diversity, inclusion, and what's next in women surfing, for instance. And for the answer that I got a lot of time is like there is not enough visibility, because with visibility comes interest and comes talking about women surfing. A lot of women that maybe they don't want to surf, they don't know how to surf. I was talking with Ishita Malawiya. She's an Indian surfer, and she told me I was one of the first Indian woman surfing, because people are afraid of the ocean, and so with visibility, showing women that we can go and surf out there in India, then a lot of more people decided to try the sport. And so this is a beautiful thing, because at the end it goes back to the ocean and all the things that we were saying at the beginning of the interview. So for that reason, I was asking about visibility. Anyway, if we have to talk about you personally, what is your next target?
Well, my next target, moreover, is growing the sport internationally. Right now, we're sitting at 28 national federations. So obviously increasing that with the ISA would be really, really awesome. Apart from that, I think possibly getting a professional tour going. I have friends in Australia and Japan and South Africa and France who have been wanting, and as well as England as well, who have been putting on, really great contests. And I think tying all those contests together into a single tour would be really cool going forward. But it's all just a matter of time. I have no doubt it will happen, but it's all just a matter of time. Once again, being patient.
Yeah, being patient. Yeah, it is a key learning of today's interview. Do you imagine the podium of this year Olympics? Do you want to give us your forecast, your idea, or you want to keep it? You say scaramantic. Do you want to keep it like don't say anything?
Oh man, I don't know. Let's speculate a little bit. So I've had the opportunity to surf Shindashita Beach, where the Olympic venue's being held in Makihara. I've surfed it quite a bit, and the wave is. I've surfed it when it was not very good, and I've surfed it when it's absolutely on fire. Like trestles quality. But the way that wave is powered, it's powered by typhoon storm energy going off the coast, and we're actually in a fairly good time of year for it to produce some good power. So as far as speculation, I think it's if the storm energy isn't there, I think everyone's going to have to work for it a lot harder. If the storm energy is there and it's firing, it's going to be a sight to see. Because you're going to have some of the greatest surfers on the planet, battling it out in non-WCT conditions. So I think it's going to be really awesome. But it's a very challenging wave. It's all up to Mother Nature to show us what she's going to give us.
Yeah, exactly. The unpredictability factor of surf, right? So that's amazing. So we don't know until the last moment, right? I
guarantee you everyone's going to be hopping on Surfline 50 times a day trying to analyze what the buoys are doing.
yeah, a lot of studies around. Okay, cool. We're gonna finish our interview with a short Q&A session. Please answer the first thing that comes up to your mind. The questions.
Oh, quick fire, huh?
The question is standard. We ask everybody, so don't. First, the best surfboard that you ever ridden.
Ooh, oh wow. So first thing that comes to mind, I have a Magic Shape down in Costa Rica that my shaper Eric shaped for me. It's a 6'7", 22 wide, 3 1/4 inches thick, double to triple concave 4-channel bat tail. And it's the way we move the hard edge up to it paddles like a longboard, so you can catch anything. But as soon as you're on the wave, it handles like a 6'2". It's probably one of the best boards I've ever ridden.
And so your favorite shaper, I guess, goes with it, right?
Oh yeah. As far as just to throw a bone of respect in, I'd probably say Bob Pearson would be very high up there. From Santa Cruz, Pearson Era Surfboards. That guy is just an absolute master of his craft. Steve Coletta from Santa Cruz is another one. I've seen some really interesting things coming from Dan Mann as well.
Okay, cool. Good company.
Oh yeah, very.
Yeah, definitely. Personal question: your favorite song?
Ooh, depends if is this a preheat, like when I have my headphones on before I go surf, or is this me chilling out?
Like you want. I don't know.
Okay. Preheat before I go surfing, I always have a song that I play. It's No Effects, Punk Rock Elite.
Nice. No Effects. Amazing band. Your favorite surf spot?
Probably say that'd be a 3-way tie between Bells Beach, Jeffreys Bay, or Tavarua.
Okay. Again, good company. Good choice. Your favorite surfer of all time?
Old school wise, I'd probably say either Jerry Lopez or Buttons would be in my top, just because of their ability to make things that are incredibly difficult look so easy. In modern days, I'd probably say either Kelly Slater or Kai Lenny are pretty high up there. And as far as the women, I'd probably have to throw my hat in the ring between Riz, Carissa Moore, and Courtney Conalog.
Okay. Yeah, I quite agree with you. Nice choice. The last question has nothing to do with surf. We ask everybody on this show. I want to know your best relationship advice.
Best relationship advice? Oh man. I'd probably say the ability to compromise, to find, things that you both enjoy, and celebrate that. For me, it's surfing. I think that's having a relationship where your partner surfs is an incredible benefit, because it doesn't matter, how bad of a day you might be having. All it does is it takes 2 seconds going in the ocean, and all of a sudden your day's all right. So
yeah, definitely. I thought you were answering patience, and
well, I don't want to be a broken record with that one. So
no, it's nice how the things start and end, and towards the conversation. Maybe it's definitely a important word for you. So I noticed that. But thank you, Christiaan, for being with me on the show today, and I look forward to talk to you very soon.
All right, Alessandro. Have a great day, man. It's great talking with you.
Ciao. Bye. Hi, it's me again. I hope you enjoyed our today's episode. If you want to know more about us, please follow www.thetempleofsurf.com and all our social media. Mahalo!